All right, today I'm in the studio with my beautiful wife, Tracy, and this topic is again for parents. Tracy, we're talking about really, in essence, the most important fundamental principle for every parent who wants to parent like a Christian.
Yes.
What's the principle?
The principle is you have to put God first.
As opposed to what?
Anything else.
Right. Putting your spouse first?
Right.
Putting your kids first?
Right. Putting your hobbies first.
Yeah.
Putting your TV watching.
Putting
your gaming.
Putting your job first?
Right.
Men?
Right.
It's so easy to prioritize the wrong stuff and you're not even aware of it.
Yes.
But really, if you want everything to work, there's no guarantees, right?
Right.
But if you want it to work well, it starts with mom and dad
Yes.
putting God first.
Meaning that God is your primary priority.
Right.
That your kids are raised in a home where they know that God is important.
He's not like a side issue.
Something we do a couple times a year
Yep.
or once a week even.
Yep.
Yes.
That's right. Now, again, before we get into this, in our family, I think our kids, we're not perfect at this, but our kids know that we put God first.
Yes.
And as a result, they're putting
Yes.
God, they're learning to put God first in their life.
Yes.
Right.
They have seen us make God a priority, and we'll talk about that here in a minute, just a couple of practical ways to do that. And so I notice now that our kids are also practicing some of those disciplines as a way of keeping God first in their own life.
Yeah. Moms and dads, I hope that your goal is to raise kids who pursue God with their whole heart. But there's no way that they're going to pursue God with their whole heart. Please hear me, moms and dads, if you don't do it.
Right.
So you have to put God first, and then hopefully, prayerfully, your kids will put God first. Moses talks about this in Deuteronomy chapter 6. He said, "And you must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your strength." Tracy, we talked about this a few videos ago when we talked about really the idea of parenting on purpose and using the resources and creating a conversational culture. This is Moses talking to the Israelites as they're about ready to enter the promised land. And really what he's saying to them is parents and grandparents, the family is the most fundamental unit in the nation as they're about ready to become a nation. And so he's given a pep talk to parents and grandparents. And I love what he says. I mean, it's so simple. Put God first. Love God first. Love him above everything else.
Right.
And then all the other stuff can come
Right.
in order. In fact, Jesus said this, right? Of all the commandments, what's the most important
Yeah.
one? Love God and then love everyone else after
Right.
that, right?
Right.
And so this principle is so important. So Tracy, let's unpack this practically for parents watching this. In fact, there might be some parents who are watching this who are saying, I've blown it already. I haven't done a good job.
Yeah, it's not too late to start.
Right.
It is not too late to start, parents. I want you to hear me when I say that. Your kids are going to observe, they're observing and they're watching. They're like sponges. So start tomorrow, start today
Right.
to just start making God a priority. And here's just some simple things.
Right.
Like my kids, when they get up in the morning, they see me reading the Bible.
Yep.
Now, they don't know what I'm reading. I mean, I guess I could just have it open on the couch and I'm not reading it at all.
You could be faking it.
Exactly, but they see that. They've seen that that's a value that I start my day
Right.
by reading the Bible.
Right.
Another thing is that we pray as a family. We
Yeah.
pray individually, we pray as a family, especially when specific needs come up or even if it's just over dinner, that prayer is something that we do. Again, another way of showing that God is a priority, that
Right.
God is personal to us, he's personal to our family and our situation.
Yeah, and parents, let me just say this. It's not just that you pray at dinner time. That's great. Or that you maybe pray in special moments. We do it at Christmas
Yeah.
and Easter and whatever. But it's also that parents, mom and dad, you have a personal prayer life. And we've got more on that in our resources. Just search prayer on PursueGOD.org. That you have a prayer life and that you encourage your kids to develop a prayer life. This is something we've done with our kids. We've encouraged them to start reading the Bible on their own. There's Bible reading plans on our site. And we've encouraged them to learn how to pray on their own. Those are some skills that we
Right.
want them to learn.
Now, granted, our kids are a little bit older. Some
Right.
of you are going to be like, well, my kid can't read yet. But
Yeah, that's
the
right.
point is, as they're going to bed at night, you
Yeah.
can read from a children's Bible story. You can
Right.
use our resources and do some topics for kids.
Yeah.
You can teach them how to pray before bedtime
Yeah.
and just showing that God is first.
Yeah, so just end with this last one, Tracy, specifically for parents of younger kids at home,
Yes.
5 to 11 years old. What does it mean to use our tools
Yes.
to do this flex parenting?
Yeah, so we have a ton of resources for kids. And so all that would mean is you would go on the website and you would find a topic that
Right.
is something you think your kids would be interested in, you watch the video together and you use the questions that are provided and you have a conversation.
And that's it. Once a week. Some parents do it every day.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of content at PursueGODkids.org. But the goal is to create these conversations in your home intentionally where you're showing your kids that you're putting God first. He's that important.
That's right.
That you're reading the Bible, you're praying, you're going to church, and you're having these intentional conversations every week, every day. And you're saying, kids, this is what we do. Isn't that what we say to our kids?
Yes.
Because parents, you might have kids rolling their eyes and say, I don't want to do this, and just smile. And we say, hey, it's what we do.
Right.
It's what we do.
Sometimes your kids don't want to do homework either.
That's right.
And they have to do that.
It's what we do because we put God first. Parents, you're the parents. Remember this first principle, and you'll see that it will completely change, not just your marriage and your home, it'll change your kids and their futures as well. So use those questions below with your group or with a mentor and talk about that, and join us for some of our other parenting topics online.